Hi, welcome to Cooking and Gardening with Little Bit. I'm Little Bit. Today for dinner, we're having turkey breast with collard greens and turnip greens mixed, deviled potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and cornbread. I've already washed my turkey breast. I'm using a crock pot bag for easy cleanup. I sprayed my bag with a Pam cooking spray. And also I punched holes in both sides of my turkey breast to help the seasoning and the flavors come through. Today I'm using, the seasons I'm using are smoked paprika, a little poultry seasoning, garlic pepper seasoning, my favorite Tony's, I'm using that, and the Kinder's lemon butter garlic seasoning, and some onion powder. And also parsley. Put some parsley in a little accent. Okay, I'm putting some seasoning. It's on top in front of it. And also, I'm also going to put in the bottom of the pan, the crock pot, I should have poured it first, but I forgot, a little chicken stock, about a cup of chicken stock at the bottom. It makes its own gravy, juices anyway, but I like to put a little bit on the bottom of my crock pot. Just a little bit. Maybe about a half a cup. And what I'm going to do is, when I season this side, and when it cooks down for about, I'll come and check on it in an hour or 2 hours. I'm also adding celery and onions to the top of it. I'm gonna turn it over, the turkey breast over in about 2 hours. I'll turn it over and then I'll season the other side. Okay. I'm putting it on, you can either cook it on high for 6 to 8 hours or on low for 3 to 4 hours. I think that I'm going to do it on, I think I'm going to do it on low for 6 hours. I might do low for 3 hours and then come up with doing high for a couple more hours. I don't know. I think right now though, I'll put it on low. And I put it on low. And I also have a low, medium, and a high on my crock pot. And I might do medium. I think I'm going to do medium for 2 hours. Then I'll come back and look at it and turn it over and put it on high for an hour. Okay, I'll see you back in a few. Okay, it hasn't been an hour yet, or 2 hours yet. But one thing I forgot to add, I'll tell you all that I add is, I add a stick of unsalted butter on top of my turkey. And as well. And like I said, it's on medium temperature. And I'll bring you back in 2 hours. See you in a few. Okay, it's been 2 hours. I cooked it on medium. I turned it over, the turkey breast over. I'm sprinkling some more seasoning on this side. And then I'm going to cut it on high. Change the temperature to high. And I'm going to come back and check it in 2 hours. And it should be, in 2 hours, it should be finished. I'll see you in a few. Okay, now it's time to start cooking my turnips and cabbage, greens. Now it's time to cook my turnip and collard greens. I'm cooking those together. First, I'm going to have a little oil, olive oil in my pan. I'm going to saute a little bit the peppers and onions. Get those going before I add my collard greens. And turnips. These collard greens and turnips, I froze these the first of the year. It might have been, well, yeah, the first of the year. I froze these. And I have some left, which is good. So I didn't have to go out and buy some and wash them. Because I'm out of my ones at my garden. I've already eaten all those, so yeah. Give it a little stir, a few seconds before I add my collard and my turnip greens. I think I added like 2 tablespoons of olive oil, but I think I'm gonna need a little bit more from tonight before I add my greens. So I may add probably about estimation of 2 more tablespoons before I add my greens. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add they're frozen, partially thawed, my turnip greens and collard greens that I froze the first of the year. I'm gonna add these in there and stir fry until they get to come unthawed. And I'll bring you back for the next stage. Hold us a second. Okay, now my collards and turnips, they're defrosted. They're defrosted now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my seasoning. I always like to add flavor rice to most of my vegetables. I'll have to add but a little bit, a lot, a little bit goes a long way. I add about a teaspoon. And I'm also going to add some garlic pepper seasoning. Maybe about 2 tablespoons of that. And that's all I'll need for as far as salt and seasoning. I won't need any more because it's some of that garlic pepper seasoning. And then I'm going to add my chicken stock. Okay. And I'll let this cook on a medium low for about an hour, hour and a half. And that's all that needs to be finished. Okay. Next, I'm going to start on my macaroni and cheese. See you in a few. Okay, now it's time to make the mac and cheese. I've melted 3 tablespoons of butter. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. And stir this up together. I need a whisk, but I can't find my plastic whisk for this pan, so I'm going to have to use which is a spatula, but just mix it up real good, fast, and get it mixed up so there's no lumps or anything in it. And also, you want to, at this stage, you want to go ahead and add, I'm going to add a little bit of ground mustard, maybe about a teaspoon. My pepper. And some sea salt. I add about a teaspoon of salt to start off with because you don't want it to be too salty. You can always add more salt, but you know you can't take it away. And like it's browning and cooking the flour. Okay. And then now I'm also going to add a can of evaporated milk in just a second. Like it's time for me to take my pasta out. It's been boiling for 5 minutes just to get it al dente. You don't want it to because it's going to bake in the oven when you make your macaroni and cheese or pasta, so you don't want it to, you just want a little bite to it. Pour this out and color it, and I'll come back with the okay. Like I said, or add a can of evaporated milk. Get some more of it. And then you're also going to add some heavy whipping cream. And I'll add about 2 cups. to get a little thickness to it before you add your cheese. I think I'm going to add a little bit more pepper. And something I like to add, just plain paprika, not some smoked paprika, just the plain regular paprika. Let me see if I have some in here. Just not make sure. Yeah, it's not the smoked. I don't like the smoked in my mac and cheese, but I will add a little bit of the just the sweet paprika. Give it a few minutes to giving it time to get thick before I add my cheese. When I add my cheese, Mother, turn the temperature down. If not, your cheese will get real greasy. And you don't want that in your mac and cheese. If you ever had any mac and cheese and it was very extra greasy than it should be, it's because they may have added the cheese in when the sauce was still way too hot. And it'll make it greasy. Okay, I'll be back in a few with the next steps. Okay, now it's time to add the cheese. I have the sauce has cooled down some. My oven is preheated to 350. So I'll gradually add, I got a mixture of Gouda, Colby Jack, and I have some Sharp. Getting the melt. Now I'm going to add my pasta. Give this a good mix. Try to move the camera so you can see what I'm doing with the pasta. Let's see. Let's see a little bit. I greased my, I buttered my foil baking dish. I'm just gonna put some pour a little in it. Spread it out some, and then I'm also gonna add a little cheese in between. Now pour some more on top. And the rest of it on top, should I say? Okay. Spread it out. And take the rest of the cheese and sprinkle it on top. Now bake it uncovered for about 25 minutes on 350. And I spreaded my own cheese. It's best to spread your own cheese because it has a, when you buy the shredded cheese, it has a caking agent in it. Sometimes it takes a little longer for it to melt. Okay. Put it in the oven for, like I said, for 25 minutes on 350. And I'll bring you back when it's finished. Okay, my macaroni cheese is out of the oven. And this is the way it looks. Now it's time for me to start on my deviled potatoes. I'll see you in a few. Okay, now it's time for me to make my deviled potatoes. And I have some, like the little mini potatoes. I'm going to take it and rub them down in olive oil. I'm going to roast them for about 20 minutes. I want olive oil all over them. I'm allergic to eggs, which is why I never can make deviled eggs because I'm allergic to them. And actually, almost my entire household are allergic to eggs. And then I'm gonna sprinkle them with some kosher salt. In case you get olive oil and kosher salt all over each potato. And then I'm going to roast these for about 20 minutes, and then we'll be back with the next step. Okay, now it's time for my honey cornbread. And what you have to do is, for your liquid ingredients, you're going to need a 1/3 cup of honey, a 1/2 cup of salted melted butter, 1 cup of whole milk, and you're going to mix all that together. And for the dry ingredients, you're going to need 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. And you're gonna, mix all the wet ingredients up. Mix up your dry ingredients. I've already got this mixed up. Then you're gonna pour your wet into your dry. And you're also gonna bake this at 350 degrees. Okay, mix this up. I've already had my pan. I put it in the oven and put a little butter in it so it can melt. Let's see what I'm going to mix this real good and then pour it into my pan. Okay. Trying to make sure the butter goes all the way around my pan. And then it shouldn't stick, but you never know. Okay. I'm gonna pour it into my baking dish. I got too much for this little pan. Maybe pour all of it in there. Cause I want, well, put a little bit more. I don't want to spill out on top of spill out in my oven. Okay. We're gonna put it in the, bake it on 350 for 25 minutes. And I'll bring you back when it's finished. Okay, now it's time to work on my deviled potatoes. I roasted these with olive oil and coarse sea salt, or coarse salt, it took about 30 minutes before they were actually tender. And you look at how it's sitting up now. So it's sitting up like this. So you're gonna take it to the side and you're gonna split it like that. You're gonna do them like that. See where it's laying at? It's laying like this. So you can take it to that way and cut it down. And you do them like that. And in my, the pan, or the little thing, the sauce for it is, I have some mayo, mustard. I'm gonna put some pepper in here. I'm putting some sea salt. I cut up some onions because I chopped them. A few onions in here, and also some relish. Let me find, pick up my relish in the refrigerator. Just a second. Let me find some relish. Okay, here it is. I usually use sweet salad cube pickles, but I'm using relish today. Okay. I'm gonna stir that up. You might need a few more onions, some more relish, and also the potatoes. Take the potatoes and you're going to scoop out the inside of them like this. But you need to keep some in there. You don't scoop it down to the peel. Leave some in there. Like that. And go to the next one. Scoop some out. But not too much. You got to leave something in there. About like that. Scoop some out. Don't scoop too much out. Leave some in there because you're gonna fill it back in. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera and finish all these up. It'll take a little while, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I made the filling for it. It's just salt, pepper, relish, onions, mayo, and mustard. Now I'm going to take it and you just... I have a piping bag, but I don't know where it is right now. So, but anyway, you just take a spoonful of it, like you would do deviled eggs, and you just take it and put it in there, like that, and that's it. Fill it like that. Put them over there, and then you can put some paprika, the sweet, not the smoked, on top of it when you're finished with it, like you do with deviled eggs. Put a little. And then like that. And yeah, you do it like that, and that's how it looks. You also can sprinkle some paprika on it. I don't use the, not the smoked kind on this, I just use the sweet. See if I can find it. Here it is. And you just sprinkle a little bit of paprika on each of them. You can do them cold or room temperature. But it's like deviled potatoes. And also my cornbread is finished. It's out the oven. Take it down to my cornbread. So you can see that it's finished. It's ready. And I'll show you my plate when I come back in just a few. Okay, here's my plate. Turkey breasts, honey cornbread, turnips and collards mixed, macaroni and cheese, and deviled potatoes. Thank you for viewing. Check you later.